Welcome into the first episode of Talking Business. I am joined today by Roth, who's the project manager at TriDelta Systems located in Abbeville, Alabama. Roth, thanks for stopping in.
Scott, glad to be here.
So before we go any further, I do want to mention that this episode is presented by Culligan Water. Roth, tell us a little bit about TriDelta Systems.
TriDelta Systems, we are a systems integrator, again, located in Alabama. We go all over the country, and what we do is we look at equipment, move equipment, set equipment, build equipment, design equipment, anything you want to do with equipment.
Okay, so as a project manager, what is your role with TriDelta?
My main role is to go in and look at this equipment and write up the scope of work, build the schedule, build the quotes, and lead the guys when we're there doing the project.
So how did you fall in, or how did you become a project manager? Is this a goal that you set out? Did you kind of fall into it? Did you transition from another position? How did you become a project manager?
Yeah, I was in the engineering department for years and years. And when I left engineering, I went over to project management. And it's just the next step in being an industrial contractor. That's just the next step.
So what type of education, certifications, training has either helped you with this or would help a project manager?
An engineering degree is very helpful. A business degree is very helpful. You can get many different certifications, but something like a business or an engineering degree would be very helpful.
What type of certifications would a project manager need?
You can get some through PMI, which is a project management company. And what they do is they give you certifications. A lot of companies will not let you go in to run a project unless you are certified with PMI.
So I will link below in the description of this video what PMI is and where you can find that as well.
Excellent.
So what do you enjoy most about your job, Roth?
The thing I enjoy most is I travel a lot, and being able to travel a lot, you see a lot of different things across the world. So that is my favorite thing.
So with traveling, were you able to travel much in 2020 during the pandemic?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to travel much. I was able to travel a little bit, but I couldn't fly. A lot of companies would not let you fly because of the COVID situation. So 2020 was significantly different than years past.
Did that have any bearing on the company as a whole?
Fortunately, we have the best. This 2020 was the best year that TriDelta Systems ever had. We've been very fortunate, even during COVID, that we were considered essential employees. Again, we were not healthcare workers or anything like that. Those people are very special. But with us, we were considered essential because food plants had to run, plants still had to operate. So we were still very, very busy.
That's great. So how many employees does TriDelta have?
We currently have 110. And with those 110, we have a mechanical engineering department, a fab shop, a machine shop, an electrical engineering department. So we have different facets that we can do.
That's great for such a small company to be able to keep running even during a pandemic.
We've been very fortunate.
So what are some challenges with your job or some challenges that a project manager may face?
Some of the most challenging is we're always under deadlines. It doesn't matter if we set the schedule or not. We still have deadlines we have to hit. And if something goes wrong, unfortunately, it's on me. If something doesn't go right, it doesn't matter if it's my fault or not. It always is going to fall back on me. So some of the challenging things are it's very, very, very stressful.
That it is. A lot of stress comes with that type of responsibility.
It does. I mean, don't get me wrong. The pay is great, but the stress is very great as well.
Well, since you brought it up, tell us a little bit about the pay scale for a project manager.
Generally, again, depending on where you live, you can live in small towns and your pay is significantly higher or lower. But you'll start off at about 75 a year. And you can work your way up to 200 plus.
Wow, that's fantastic. I imagine a lot of sleepless nights come with that kind of pay as well.
It does. It does. Many a sleepless nights. But Scott, something I did want to touch on with being a project manager is something you can do. Another challenging thing that you have is when you're writing up a scope or many a sleepless nights. That's all you end up thinking about is the project. So it actually becomes part of your life.
Absolutely. So what advice would you give to students who are starting college or maybe thinking, or they're maybe coming back to college for a different career path?
The best advice I can give to somebody is don't pick an occupation because of the pay. Okay. You have to love what you do. If you do not wake up every morning loving your job, you're going to be miserable. So don't pick it because of the money. Like I said, the money is great. The stress is very high, but just stay with it. Just stay with it. There's always challenges. There's challenges in every job or facet of life you're going to have. Just stick with it, and everything happens for a reason.
So let's circle back to the question about what do you enjoy most. With your job as a project manager, are you doing the same thing every single day, or does it vary depending on which job you're working?
That is the benefit of being a project manager with being an industrial contractor like we are. Is every day is different. It's never the same thing. It's always something different. It's always a new challenge. It's always you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. I could have the best day in the world today, and tomorrow is right the opposite. And then the next day is right the opposite. So you never know what you're going to get into.
How frequently do your days just change on a dime? Like a day scheduled, you've already got it planned out. You wake up, you get a phone call, and you have to completely pivot and go do something.
It changes. Being in the industrial world, the customer, unfortunately, is always right. And so if they're always right, that means you being the contractor, you have to do what we tell you to do. And it doesn't matter. You give them that schedule and they love it, love it, love it. Then all of a sudden you get a phone call at 5 that morning or 6 at night, and it changes. So that's another part of those sleepless nights and fun. It's time of the fun. That's the fun you have to deal with.
Well, Roth, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. I want to thank Culligan again for sponsoring this episode. And I will link out. Do you have any social media that you would like for me to link out or anything for TriDelta Systems?
Yeah, TriDelta Systems, our website is www.TriDeltaSystems.com.
Excellent. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Scott. You have a great day.
You as well.